lastly, the report kind of went through, or specifically went through proposed actions and looked at which ones are mitigation and which ones are adaptation. And I think this is the slide that I'd like to end on, is showing alternative financing schemes and the best use of state budget. So if you see here, some of these proposed actions from the last slide will have, okay, do they receive money from the state budget? And if they do, great, but how can we supplement that? And if they don't, where could other money be coming from? So this is something that the report heavily focused on and hopefully can be useful for some discussions going forward. Lastly, I just want to touch again, government of Indonesia has been doing a lot. I want to give credit where credit's due. It's increased its spending on air quality significantly. 2021 moving from 5 trillion rupiah or $300 million US dollars to 13 trillion rupiah or 775 million in 2024. So that's something, not nothing. And and I think I will stop here because I think we would like to hear from our esteemed government guests to discuss more on the last couple of slides. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jasmine, for the insightful presentation. And next, we will hear from our government counterparts. So there will be some presentations first before we head into a moderated discussion. So first, I would like to invite Mr. Nizar Marizi, or Pak Iji, as the Director of Environment at the Ministry of National Development Planning, or Bappenas, from the Republic of Indonesia. Pak Iji, the lectern is yours.
Good afternoon, Bapak Ibu semua. This is mostly Indonesian, Ibu Nita. And thank you for inviting us, for having us, Bappenas and also Ministry of Environment here at the BAQ 2026. I will present you that our policy directions regarding the air protection and also management that already integrated in our national medium-term development plan for the next 5 years. Okay. This is just a background that it is the three crises that we are facing, and if you can see that pollution and also climate change is two of the three, and the three crises is enhancing the impact one and another. So this is something, the interactions between the impacts that being the focus when we are formulating the long-term medium-term development plan until the 2045. So this is only the background. And in the national long-term development plan, we already have 5 main indicators. And if you see the indicators number 5 is really related to environment. We have greenhouse gas emission intensity decrease, but we have 2 indicators to see the progress: the greenhouse gas emissions intensity reduction and also the environmental quality index, where the air quality is being part of the environmental quality index. And this is our efforts to make the environmental indicator is parallel or on par with the economic and also social indicators that conventionally already included in the development planning. And this is the visions and also main objective for the national long-term development plan. If you see that we aim to the economic transformation for the next 20 years, but we also have to make this a solid foundation before we do the transformations by the social, cultural, and also ecological resilience. And economic transformation is being will be achieved. One of it by the green economy implementations, where the high quality environment is being one of the pillars that being important because this become one of the foundations of the transformations. So without any solid quality environment, we don't think that we can achieve the economic transformations as we plan in the law. And this is if we are referred to the 5 year plan from the current administrations, the national priorities, the second national priority is dealing with the one of it, it's with the green economy, and this is where the environmental issue, where also the quality of air, water, land is being elaborated in the plan. And this is the elaboration from the plan that the national priority number 2. Then we have the target for the green economic transformations. There is the national priority indicators, the green economy index, which will be achieved by at least 5 priority programs. And also the second one is about the environmental quality index. We have to improve the environmental quality and also the spatial planning, because between environmental quality and spatial planning we have an effect. So the indicators, one of it is the air quality index, and this is how we make the plan. So because when we're finishing the national long-term development plan, there is a joint letter from the Ministry of Environment and the Ministry of Planning and Ministry of Home Affairs that encourage and also mandated the provincial government to adopt main indicators that already in the national long-term development plan, to also include it in the provincial long-term development plan. By doing this, we want that in the local government medium-term development plan, also their annual plan, also already considering these main indicators, including the air quality index. And if you see that in our annual government plan for this year, related to the air quality, the main executing agency is the Ministry of Environment, and also the Meteorological, Climatology, and also Geophysical Agency, the BMKG. And we have a target to have at least 414 regional or cities. All of it will be improved, the environmental response index. And also in terms of industry, more than 300 industry will complying with the emission standards. So the interventions highlight is already there, and also activity, also their output is already there, and this is already being cascaded and implemented in the ministerial working plan for the 2026, and also have the funding sources from state budgets, and also because this environment is really rely on the state budget. Next, this is only to see that there are already some studies and also a review on how we tackle this clean air in Jabodetabek, but maybe have different angle with what Jasmine already presents. Also, this is also the one for better air, better Indonesia. The message is that we already done, I think, enough study and also review. So by the latest study from the ADB that presented by Jasmine, we agree that it is time to implement. So why then this we are focusing on financing, because implementations need budget, need support from the funding. And this is the direction from the medium-term development plan regarding how to optimize and to synergize the funding. So we mobilize a number of funding resources, and also how this will be implemented. And some regulations are already mandated to optimize the source of funding. And but we still have innovative fundings that still need to be carefully look and also explore, because as Ibu Nita already said, that this air quality things is not something that really related like investment, then you can have the revenue. So which source of funding that's a more appropriate and also more fit with these sectors is really need to be addressed in the future. And this is this our mapping. So this is in general for green economic transformation. So currently, this really rely on the public funding. The portion from public funding is really the biggest, but the future targets that yes, we still need the public fundings, but the private and also the public-private proportion is become bigger. And we also already look into several options that we can explore, like the EPR, trust fund, disclosure from the private sectors, result-based payment. So this is the choices that we can have to fund the green economic transformations, including the environmental quality, the air quality. I think that my brief presentations, we can have discussion after this, because this is really need to address the financing. I agree with the ADB, and also let's see what this forum will direct us, whether we agree to explore funding from private sectors, or ADB is ready to help us on how we can manage, and also how to have a proper pipelines on tackle the problem that facing by the local governments. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pak Iji, for giving us insights on the perspective of air quality from the national planning perspective. So next, we will invite Mr. Marhasak Denny Silaban, or Pak Denny, as the Director of Air Quality Protection and Management at the Ministry of Environment, Republic of Indonesia. Pak Denny, please, the lectern is yours.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Bapak Ibu sekalian, Bu Neta, Bu Julia, dan Bu Yulia. Yeah, we have a discussion the last. Okay, this paper based on our experience and based on the study. So, next. Okay, I think Bu Yulia already mentioned about the Jakarta situation. That means situation that become worse, but we can waiting for become reducing by raining maybe, yeah, so like that. But what can we do in the next is maybe this our challenge this for the future, that we would like to how to become Indonesia to become at least in the standard WHO. As we know that air pollution is maybe some implication to the public. That means we have also the reporting from the local government. They are reporting regarding in the 2025, almost 2 million people come to the hospital relating to the air pollution effect. As a higher healthcare expenditure, reduced labor quality and school performance, long-term socio-economic burden, and affect communities. That's all. The source of air pollution is multifaceted, including emission from transportation, industry activity, household fuel, and so on. And for example, from Jakarta, in transportation is more pollution, making of some percentage, high percentage compared to the industrial and household and but this is thing our policy already existing for the fuel transportation during the 1917. So this is very difficult for us to need to be communicates with the other institution regarding to the quality of the fuel. Structural gap, institutional and capacity constraint at national level. Of course, we have some national regulation and at quality standard exists. How that implemented at the professional municipal level is in even to the different technical and international activity. And level is second about limited air quality monitoring and emission data with integration air quality management into local planning and budget and efficient enforcement and compliance mechanism. And last is limited access to dedicated financial for intervention. Of course, all of this is based on our data, based on our discussion with the institution, local institutions, subnational. There's we have some challenges how to become this complex the situation to be better situation. It's mean quality of ambient in Indonesia to become better. Subnational government often have insufficient resources to fund clean air initiative, which require both capital and operational investment for monitoring, mitigation, and enforcement. And governors already setting up some data to how many budget and how many station monitoring in Indonesia. But we have the IT 30 province and 550 air quality monitoring system. So this is very so we cannot cover it for all the system, but at least we have the innovation for this using the satellite data to calculate in 24 week condition. There is no data in the professional or the municipal level. Financing and investment gap. Despite decreasing awareness of political impact, there is a lack of structure, bankable investment project targeting clean air at the national level. There's some barrier, limited capacity to design and prefer investable project. Of course, in institutional level, something like me to prepare some paper for project, something we have misunderstand, learn to set up some standard, like maybe it's investor need some more data or more need some data to related there's some to distance some project like that. And then lack of standardization method to quantity air quality improvement benefit, with alignment between air quality goal and fiscal planning. Yes, we have some this is some time we have need to achieve more, but we understand the budget in Indonesia is very limited. So sometimes we have some innovation with the private sector to be engaged with us to help us like to set up some monitoring system in Indonesia. For example, some private policy will be in now and the next is have policy to set up the high quality monitoring, for example, in area for industrial area. We have more than I think more than 100 industrial area, and then should be set up the air quality monitoring by in mandate by ministry. Minimal involvement of private sector financing and clean air initiative. The financing gap driven the scaling up of effective intervention that will reduce exposure and improve the health outcome. Risk and inaction. If the gap are not addressed, yes, PM24 and air pollution personnel will remain high in urban area. For example, in Jakarta, public impact will continue to rise. Yes, become we have more money to giving some health problem. Economic loss due to the illness and reduced productivity will persist. Local government will struggle to implement meaningful clean air intervention. And last is community, particularly vulnerable group, will bear the supported health and social costs. Here's some strategic opportunity for us is addressing air quality require target intervention to strengthen substantial capacity and local financing. Is some opportunity include the supporting the local government to be preparing implementing air quality project. Yeah, we get the data from the local government. Sometimes the data cannot be. I mean that data is not so useful for the local government to support the policy in local government. Establishing a pipeline of stable intervention to track development or grant financing, and then strengthening regulatory enforcement, monitoring and planning capacity, and the last mobilizing public and private resource efficiency to for municipal quality improvement. Our progress statement, this Indonesia quality challenge is primary financing into capacity, and then with the structure, I think this not become achievement the goal. Subnational quality landscape Indonesia, we can already share with DB about that situation. We have some mapping. We are using the how much the integrated. We have the program for index quality for the air quality index. We can divide it. Some who is the local government will be support our activity. If the local government have high capacity, then have good commitment, I think we add in one number one. But in the area we can know which is how to point 4 and point 3 should be close to the number 1. I think this need more some high budgeting and also high commitment in the local government, and how about the high supporting from the innovation. I think that's all my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Denny, for your presentation. Pak Denny, if I may ask you to please perhaps take a seat at the table for our moderated panel discussion. And together with Pak Denny, let me invite our other presenter, Pak Iji. Please take your seat at the table in front. And I would like to also invite our moderator, Ms. Jasmine from ADB, to please take a seat at the table. And now, Jasmine, I will hand over to you to moderate the panel discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andrew, and thank you, Pak Iji and Pak Denny, for your presentations. I think just very quickly, one thing that stood out for me, Pak Iji, from your presentation was linking air quality improvements with the medium and national long-term development plans. And then Pak Denny, what stood out was the monitoring and data that exists in cities across Indonesia, and how you work with local governments to monitor and improve. So thank you again. I think now this is the discussion session, so we welcome the audience to think of questions. But first, would like to ask Pak Iji if you would like to prepare to speak. So my question is specific and about how Indonesia already has national policies and programs that work on air quality and urban investment. Where specifically are these existing financing mechanisms falling short to actually enable cities to implement air quality measures at scale?
Thank you, Jasmine. So, if I may, that we see that most of the funding for air quality in Indonesia is come from the government budget currently. So, is also make one of the like, because this is something that already did for many years. It's something that the local government also have very dependent on the regional transfer from the national government. And this year, maybe we are from Indonesia understand that the regional transfer from the national government is more limited because we have many other focus priorities from the current administrations. But when we look at the implementation at the city level, we also can see that several gaps still limit the ability from the city government to tackle this issue. At least the first one is about the integration between between the sectoral environmental planning with the investment planning, because it is sometimes see it's different sector. We in Indonesia is usually see investment as also one different sectors than the other. So this is make the difficult. So the sectoral plan sometimes not integrated with the investment plan, because the local government also have their own investment agency, but sometimes it's really focusing on the like private sectors, and also not really see the to enhance the capacity of their self. And the second one is the fiscal capacity. The city level government also make this constraint, because like we already talked that this quality solution is sometimes requires significant upfront investment, right? And this is something that the local government could not afford. And yes, the fiscal transfer from the central government exists, but this is really like a bulk money. So when the city government is not earmark the money, the transfer specifically for air quality solutions, that it will be got no funding from the transfers. And also the access to innovative financing also still limited. And if we look into we already identified the instruments for this financing, like green finance, blended finance, also result-based payment or sub-based financing. But something that make the local government could not access to those funding is sometimes they don't have any enough capacity to prepare the bankable projects. So this is because this is really the thing that the funders will see. Not only to attract the private sectors, but also the climate finance, because this is really important for them to see how this funding will be sustainable for the next at least 5 or 10 years. And maybe those three hampers the city government on how to scale up their effort on quality solutions.
Thank you, Pak Iji. That was comprehensive. I'd now like to turn to Pak Denny from Ministry of Environment. And from your perspective, we're interested in hearing about, well, okay, first let me step back. Earlier we talked about working with local governments. Different cities have monitoring systems, and then you work with them to collect the data. So from your perspective in working with the local governments in that capacity, which parts of the investment chain are currently the weakest for subnational air quality projects? Is it project preparation, access to capital, risk allocation, or incentives for local governments? It's actually related to the Pak Iji's question as well.
Okay, thank you, Yeah, regarding to the budgeting, I think we set up the national budgeting for the local government, and then we have Bappenas already setting up the long 5 years planning, and then we can put some information for the local from national to deliver the program like IKMS to the level. Almost the budgeting is come from national level. subnational level, because we can understand the the situation, the priority of the program between the local level. Um, uh, the I think the weakness is how to bring the something the proposal project to the national level, but but we can evaluate. I mean that if they need from some activity from the national level, and then what can the goal, and then what is the priority for the supranational level, and then after that we can sending some information to local government. We can give some opportunity or activities, but we can propose by our indicator, like if the area is suitable for us, and I can transfer the budgeting to the local government by calculating some index response. We have index response for the level subnational. This means index one we can define it seven criteria, like structure of organization, and then budgeting, and also the innovation, and also the how to the level community. This is some indicator to be supporting for us and to understand whether we can set up the project.
Just one quick follow-up. Did you say index response?
Sorry?
The index
Yes,
response,
yes.
is that what you call it? Okay,
Yeah, we call it the response.
just clarifying. Thank you. Thank you, Pop. And back now to Pak EG from National Development Planning Agency. So Pop, we've already talked about this, and you actually brought it up again, right? That cities are often encouraged to prepare projects, but many struggle to reach bankability. And you said that one of the challenges is for the cities to be able to prepare. How would you prepare these bankable proposals, right? So the question is, what concrete changes are needed, do you see, to move air quality projects from plans and strategies into these credible finance-ready pipelines? I mean, it's a broad question, but it relates to how do we work closely together to be able to create these bankable project proposals?
Yes, the first thing that we can do, I think, is to facilitate and also to have them accompanied by central government and also development partners in in, uh, in in preparing those projects. So there's not only preparing the project, but there is some component that expanded to project preparations that also prepares the local government on the next terms or the next project that they will have. I'm sure that they will have many ideas, and also they also already have the strategy and action plan. But how to translate those ideas, those strategy, those action plans to project of finance ready, that's something that we could work on to the local government officials. And also the next thing also we can do is to we also assist them in develop the more clear and structures project, because sometimes they already have projects that related to air quality, but since it's not structured well, they do not know that the project is really also about the air quality. For example, like the low emission urban transport, because they sometimes see like how to promote the EVs for public transport in their regions, but not then only considering the emissions, CO2 emissions, but not the air quality indicators, the other quality indicators, because this is happen when we facilitating the government of Bali to promoting the EVs for buses in Bali. And what they are thinking is about the emissions, and also the services for the people, or for the tourism. But they did not mentioning about this is will improve their air quality, the PM 2.5 and something like that. That's never thought about that. So that's something we can also work with them. Also for the waste management, so it's also about the spatial planning. So we should have like refreshers course for them that they already do something for air quality, but they do not measure it well, and also do not claim it that this is also part of the report to air quality. So that's why maybe Denny will talk more on, if you ask the local government on air quality, then we will come with a proposal to the tools, AQMS. So they rarely come with some projects that not really about air quality, but have something with improvement of the air quality. So that maybe we can work on that. I think those two.
So that sounds to me actually like the co-benefits approach,
Yes.
right, that we talked
Yeah.
about earlier, and how to maybe package some of
Yeah.
the benefits that also is beneficial to hear, and how we maybe market or talk about it. I see. Yeah. And Pak Denny, actually, let's continue, because Pak EG brought up how I missed the acronym, but what we just chatted about, and from the Ministry of Environment perspective,
Yeah.
how do you see that?
Yeah, I think yeah, in our government, sorry, in our belong to our air pollution ministry, sorry, strategy. Yeah, because something we can do the planning, and then the local government is like what I can call this is uh, easy to switching. That means switching to the another strategy. Yeah, this is something like in not in, Jakarta is already understand about that situation relating to the air pollution control, and we can do that program. But the other area sometimes the budgeting is not known. They can easy to check. Also the lead of the to lead not the check of the leader, also the easy to send the proposal. So it's sometimes we, for example, maybe some in Sumatra, there's some they change the local leader, and then change the strategy, and change the again for the structural for financing. Of course, we already continue to dialogue with local governments, but easy to remove the remove the program, and we cannot transform again for this program.
Just last thing, I mean, there's no easy answer, I know, but how could we deal with that? Whether it's you or development partners, or
Yes, something we can do to reform again. To do that means we can dialogue again with the uh, BAQ, with local planners,
local planning
local planning
agencies.
agency, and then to looking for the program. That's mean what the program in the local governments, and then what can do and the next year. Something we hope, if the now is not successful, hopefully in next year we can the same treatment with the local government to be to be struggle in air pollution control or strategy, yeah, like that. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Pak Denny, and thank you very much, Pak EG. I think I'll stop here on the panel discussion portion, and I I think I'm handing it over back to Pop Andrew before we take some questions from the audience, or we directly take questions from the audience. Okay, so I hope you all have thought of some questions during this time, and I encourage you to raise your hand and ask the questions directly. Thank you. Get the microphone over here. Oh, maybe we can have
Well, thank you very much. My name is Jian Xie from the World Bank. Actually, for about 2 years, the World Bank also tried to work with your ministry, try to develop air quality project, right? So back then, actually, we went to talk to Park Roy, Park Nixon, and also we have a lot of contact with Park Nico, the infrastructure team at the partner, and also partner. So we start from analysis. Actually, we're about to publish a report, try to identify and also prioritize the investment option for the Greater Jakarta, right? So actually, then we have to present some of the results. So the publication will be done. But for 2 years, we do see the challenge how to develop integrated air quality projects. So let me tell how I feel, because I'm the one actually. We also have the team actually in our Jakarta office. We have David Kadan, Marisa, and Park Xiang. Those people there have been working with your guy for 2 years, right? Although the director have been changing 3 times, actually. So actually, this is actually one of the challenges we're facing, right? And certainly because the air quality is really a multi-sector and also numerous stakeholders, right? So it's really beyond one of single ministry. So our challenge is when we talk to how we can develop an integrated air quality project. So actually then we start to limited requests from the one ministry and also the barrier how to cross interagency, right? To cross the other agencies to develop a comprehensive project. For example, we work with the Ministry of Environment and also the DLH Jakarta, right? So we talk to Park Asset and other people. So basically, what they need, there's some TA, some capacity building, some enforcement. That's very limited, right? So this cannot solve major air pollution problem from the power sector, from transport, from the industry, right? So then, actually 2 years ago, we have in our pipeline, we have one big, we call it program for adult, the P4, for Ministry of Environment, right? So by then, after a year, we pause it because we see Ministry of Environment do not have a sizable, well-developed program which we can use our funding to support. So that actually, even that's only quite limited on environmental pollution management, not talk about other sector. So that really all go from one ministry to consider other sectors in financial need. So that actually for the environment part, how to go cross sector, right? So that we can have an integrated project. Then we come to who is going to borrow money. Certainly, Ministry of Environment or the DLH in the city, they cannot borrow money for the transport sector need, right? For the power sector, for the industry. So certainly, it doesn't make sense for us to take a big project, then they will handle the sector that we basically have not much influence, right? Leverage. So that's certainly so. So PABNA actually has that role. But right now, we also don't see PABNA has that kind of capacity to cross-sector project management, right? So, for example, I work on solid waste together with the public one, right? So that's pretty simple, right? So that's one sector. They have one team, and they all work with the public work, okay? But then actually you talk about the multi-sector. So how PABNA really can do cross-sector and collaboration, and also taking PABNA. I'll probably say the city PABNA, right? Because when we talk about the investment in Jakarta, so but they probably have to set up PMO, but then they have to be able to take the money, then how to implement a project in different sector, working with different sector, right? So I don't see that kind of setup in place. So be ready to use, right? So that probably also take time. So I do see this kind of a challenge for developing an integrated air quality management project, right? So I guess right now we only have two national ministry representative here. We don't have a city, right? We probably have to talk to more city. Because our team actually do talk about the Jakarta pub dam, so about this. But still, to solve this problem, right, for the micro environment, how they can really consider other sector of actually beyond what their TA need, collectively need. And for the pub dam, how actually you can really, I know you have a more cross-sectoral function, but right now, in terms of the institutional setup, in terms of capacity, right, in terms of experience, to cross-sector project still not there yet. So when you talk, you probably hit the wall, right? Now we want to do the integrated investment covers transport, power, industry, but then you stop there, people don't know how to go on, right? So then there was no that specific request for investment. So that actually I see for about 2 years, I work with our team actually on this issue. We see still a lot of challenge. Probably easy just to sector law. We do transport project, then include some road testing, enforcement, right? So that thing actually we do all kinds of this kind of sector law. But integrated airport management project is really has a lot of barrier. So we are facing. So maybe you have more thought about this. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't know if you have any reactions to that. If not, that's all right too. But
Okay.
Thank you, Bahan. Yes. When we talk about the integrated management system, I think we already decided for the integrated because we already indicate who is the stakeholder involved in there, and then we can already have done something strategy for each stakeholder. And also we have already the target to reduce the, for example in Jakarta, we have calculate if we need some Euro 4 in Jakarta, we can understand, we can know how many tons, how many liters to reduce the PM24. We already calculate, but we can show to the Ministry of Mineral and Natural Resources about our strategy. But unfortunately, there is we have the lack for the refinery oil in Indonesia to produce some Euro 4 because we have only limited. So this is just we are just waiting on the Ministry of Energy and Natural Resources to find the solution for us. Because there already has some roadmap. This roadmap for strategy, how many kiloliter for fuel 2028 until 2023. But yesterday I asked to the Pertamina. This belong to the my private company, a national company related to the how many liters distribution for Euro 4 in Jakarta are Greater Jakarta. So after that, there's no they're sending something information to us, and then will be calculated again for if we have Euro 4 and then we have compared to the non-Euro 4, and we can understand, we can know the calculate again how many reducing for PM24 in 2025. This is our strategy. But the other thing, we can also ask to the other directorate in the same ministry using the EV, electric vehicle, but there are some policy, but at the time, I think we would like to know that means there's two kind of the institutional and the other institution is Ministry of Industrial, because they are produce some strategy for EV in Indonesia, and then we would like to engage between both of the ministry related to the EV strategy. Like that. The other thing about the local governments, actually we have the inventory emission for the Jakarta Greater Jakarta, but also in outside of Greater Jakarta we have inventory. And then, but sometimes the lack of the inventory is the capacity building of the local government to put information to the inventory data. This is also our challenging, because already we have decided for the inventory, but less than its capacity of local government is not quite well, and this is something to do in future, because the inventory is will be used for new regulation in Indonesia for carrying capacity. Now we have the new. Hopefully in this year we have the new regulation for carrying capacity. That means every province, every national level has the. We already calculate the carrying capacity. So they are need to stand for action plan. So I don't know, maybe it is some information for us. And the last thing about the integrated system relating to the monitoring system, not only for IKMS, we already integrated with the continuous emission monitoring. At the time, we have 420 GEMS in Indonesia and directly to Jakarta. And this is some information related to the camps, the GEMS. The others is about the integrated air pollution system. That's one institution, capacity building, and also the others, financial scheme, I think. We need something, financial scheme. That means Ministry of Finance, they have already decided they are using the environmental index to transform it, to transform the financial to the local government. If if the local government have the top priority, maybe they gain some budget from the Ministry of Finance to the subnational level, like this one. I think that's all for me. Yeah.
Thank you for the question, and thank you, Pak Danny. Oh, please, Pak AG.
Yes, I want to respond about the institutional arrangement. Yes, in our current foreign lending and surveillance system, it is now become hard to have like the integrated one, because when we have one big project, then several sectors under it. So it's usually the at maybe 10 years ago, we can have the Ministry of Environment as the main executing agency, if I may say that, and the other ministry as an implementing agency, and Bappenas is the steering committee and something like that. But currently it's slightly changed, because the ministry is sometimes reluctant to have to also responsible for activities that do not belong to their ministry. So it's sometimes we currently have a different project. So you have to deal with each ministry, but it is under the same under one loan agreement. So that's something we can working on them. So you have one agreement, but you have several executing agency, but then the coordinator since still in Menko or in Bappenas, but each project will have their own, for example, PMU or implementing unit, and so it will be treated as a different one. this is something that we can try to work on this something integrated project like air quality, but this is also depends on the our ministry, the Minister of Development Planning, also the Minister of Finance, whether they want to take this route on administering this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Any other questions from the audience? Please feel free to raise your hand and we can get you a microphone. I think I see one in the middle there.
Sorry. Thank you. So my question is about when you're trying to obtain financing for air quality actions, is there a process of prioritizing the actions? Do you have certain actions in particular that you want to, the priority measures that you want to fund? And then is that process then the same at the subnational scale, or could you have different priority actions at the national scale versus subnational? Hopefully that's clear.
Thank you. Yeah. Please, if you want to.
Yes, for the ministries, we for the national level we have criteria. So, for example, it is easier if it's a grant or technical assistance, it will be a relaxed criteria. But when it comes to what you call it, the loan, then it will be different because the government will have our own readiness criteria, and also because the one that will be willing to select which financing scheme that will be used is the technical ministry. So Bappenas is accompanying them. So it is really not only about the cheapest one in quotes, but also because we sometimes there are some obligations on those financing. This is something that also we look into. And for the local governments, unfortunately, the local government in Indonesia could not directly receive foreign financing, so it will be terus pinjam.
On
On
lending.
lending. So it is on lending from the ministries.
Okay.
So it will going back to the ministry's criteria and also the Ministry of Finance criteria, because this is also because the Ministry of Finance that already have the portfolio from each financiers that which one is still have room for that, or it's already it's already full in capacity. So I think yes, we do have those criteria, but it really depends on ministries, and also Bappenas also have our own criteria on assessing the proposals, and also the Ministry of Finance in administering the finance.
So could I ask a follow-up question to that? Sorry. What would you say your priorities are for your respective ministries? Do you have specific sectors that you want to obtain funding for at the minute?
Yes, we will look into the National Development Plan, because we already have, for example, for these 5 years, we have we have eight priorities. Yeah, if you see Indonesia is have more than 5 priorities as always. So actually, any sector is priority. So this is we will look into that, but we also look to the needs from the ministries, from the sectors, whether this is still needed, because not only not only the sectors that one sectors need financing, but also multiple sector will need funding, and also we see that whether these activities still really need foreign financing, or it can be fulfilled by the state budget, or the like the blended finance with the private sectors, or we can issue the green bonds or green sukuk, because this is also an option. Then if then we stuck with that, then it is decided that yes, it can go with the foreign financing.
Lenny, did you want to speak on perspective of Ministry of Environment?
Yes, actually, we are in below to the air pollution control, but our budget depend on Bappenas, yeah, and also Ministry of Finance. So we just waiting for every year how much we can gain some money from Bappenas and Ministry of Finance. Yeah, this situation. Okay.
There's one other person raising hand, and I'm after that person.
Hello. I just wanted to ask if in Indonesia, if the funds are channeled through the ministry and to the local governments, what is your guarantee that the funds can be dispersed if there is a local election and then the next mayor who wins the election suddenly doesn't want to?
Oh, she.
Or she.
Adalah kita bersama.
There's always refer to as
He or she, yeah. Yeah. So, what if that's the case? You mentioned that you also refer to your national development plans, but in our case, in the Philippines, even if it's on the national development plan, it's not necessarily always followed by the local chief executives. So, is there any practice in Indonesia that maybe there's an order from the ministry that you drop to the local governments that regardless of who is in charge, the projects can still continue? Thank you.
Yes, I think this is also happened in Indonesia and also in all democratic countries. So what we try to do that we have, because we at the national refers to our because it's related to elections, so it is 5-year plan. So when we finishing our last long-term development from for the 20 years, we also have obligation for the provincial government to also adopt the plan in their long-term provincial plan. So at least there is coherency between the national and provincial government for the next 20 years. So this is one of the way we want to avoid a problem like this, because we also have experience with that. We have to move the location and something like that. But as long as the project is still in line with the provincial long-term development plan, I think it will be also become the part of the medium-term development plan from the next leaders. So by having this is a way that we manage the risk of having this changing priorities and something like that. But I believe that sometimes the difference view from the next leaders is sometimes the locations and also the beneficiaries, not merely about the project. So I think this is something that we can work on in our experience. If it is still in one province, then we can move the project, or we can also have adding the beneficiaries or something, because it's really related to their constituents, I think.
So I think we have time for one last question from Nita.
Thank you. Thank you, Pa Denny and Pa Easy, for holding the fort. Just the two of you. Normally you have 5 people taking the fire and answering, and you've done amazingly well. Thank you, as the organizers. I can see if we make you the Minister of Energy and Minister of Transport and Minister of Industry, you know exactly what they need to do to solve. And I think it's great. I think we have the clarity there. But if we then bring Ministry of Local Government, I think maybe this is a space then for all of the audience to think about, to have more actions on. I mean, I love the way you said refresh a course for the municipalities and what could they do? I mean, everybody says, oh, no money, yes, we need, what can they do in the meantime? It's their responsibility, their city, they elected to keep it clean and breathable. And Yasmin said, air, we have no choice. So that I see as an action, and maybe making yourself bankable. Like we all say that, because also doesn't happen. They can't monetize land. Cities suddenly can't make themselves bankable. It's just the truth. But maybe that's on the bouquet of action. And third, I hear is again some sort of still like governance. What's the hook? What can they do more? So I think, again, we don't have to answer, but that's something that I think we can all take away to say, well, how can we bring, we talk about financing at subnational level, and they tomorrow not going to be made bankable because the ministry are doing all sorts of things, and they, again, not being able to monetize the land, not really have it in their hands. But what could the ministry, again, as a ministry who are responsible for local governments, do more of? Right, so because my counterpart is the ministry, I work with urban local bodies. What can I say, sir, madam, please do more of these. While we're working on the bankability. So yeah, that's can be, if we're running out of time, we can take it away, but yeah, if anybody wants to.
Yeah, no, Nita, thank you very much. Those are actually very good closing remarks. We are actually out of time, but I want to say thank you again to Pak Iji and Pak Denny, and also the audience. And I'm going to hand it back over to Pak Andrew. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Round of applause for our panelist and moderator. You may leave the stage. Well done. So I would like to thank everyone for joining today's session on accelerating investment for clean air in Indonesia, unlocking financing opportunities at the subnational level. Please allow me to just very quickly summarize the discussions that we have just had today. So we've seen